and welcome back to our channel, Man Wearing a Straw Hat. More Memories open One Piece Episode 2 as we see Luffy using his abilities in the bar. Makino cautions him against using his powers too hastily, pointing out that while each devil fruit has a special power, seawater can swiftly steal it away. When Shanks appears, Luffy begs to join the group once more but is turned down, stating that he will not be returning. Luffy is heartbroken. Additional flashbacks show Luffy being rescued by Shanks at sea, where he loses an arm but defeats a huge marine monster in the process. After returning to land, Shanks gives the little child the straw pirate hat and makes a vow to return for it when he succeeds in becoming a legendary pirate. As they separate ways, he says, "Be good, Luffy." Now that they are back in the present, Luffy says with excitement that their team is good and he can't wait to open the safe they have gathered. Even though Nami is getting impatient, they eventually succeed in opening the safe. They pull out the Grand Line map from inside. Although there are no riches or gold to be found here, the map is nonetheless quite significant. Luffy learns from Nami, who is a skilled navigator, that the sea is separated into 4 sections: East Blue, North Blue, West, and South. The Red Line is the name given to the narrow band of land that encircles the earth. The Grand Line, on the other hand, is the band that runs across the center. There are larger islands, towns, and pirates to deal with along this dangerous oceanic region. This is the possible hiding place for the One Piece, although Nami is certain that it is a myth. A massive red flare bursts overhead at that moment, but the smoke knocks them all out. Fortunately, Luffy swallows the map before they all collapse at the same time. The crew awakens to discover they have been taken prisoner. Luffy is certain that the people taking them are pirates.
Oh my god.
Rediscover themselves in the center of a circus as soon as the box opens. Here, Buggy is the main pirate, and Luffy chirps enthusiastically that he's a wanted pirate, and that everyone knows who he is. However, Buggy becomes insulted, thinking Luffy is making light of his nose. Buggy claims he is supposed to bring in the One Piece treasure and demands to keep the map for himself. He also aspires to be the Pirate King. Zoro moves forward, menacing Buggy and his group, having had enough. Nami chooses to demonstrate Luffy's powers before things get out of control by tossing his hat into the air and letting Luffy grab it while employing his skills. Nami realizes as she dashes outside that the town has been totally devastated and is shocked to see herself taken prisoner and hauled back in. Buggy stretches Luffy out in front of the shackled spectators, who are the underprivileged villagers made to observe, and tortures him over the location of the map. Zoro and Nami, on the other hand, are held in the back, Nami in a cage and Zoro strapped to a pinwheel. Buggy asks different inquiries, pointing out that he is aware of Shanks' identity. He makes the point that Shanks isn't a wonderful idol after he was allegedly deceived by him. After Buggy decides to torment a child, Luffy decides that this is too much and breaks free from his bonds to confront Buggy, using his powers to completely remove his head. But as it happens, Buggy has also consumed a devil fruit, the Chop Chop fruit. This enables him to use his limbs as lethal weapons by taking them off and replacing them whenever he pleases. Clearly more powerful than Captain Morgan, he takes out Luffy with ease. He wakes up to discover that he is in a glass tank that is being filled with seawater. Naturally, being in seawater negates Luffy's abilities, making it impossible for him to escape. Kobe begins his marine training in the meantime, but he soon discovers that standing next to Morgan is a much more powerful man. The Vice Admiral, of course, choosing to take Kobe under his wing and provide him training. He is pleased with Kobe's progress and wants the pirates to be brought to justice. However, Garp notes that Kobe's explanation doesn't add up and is unsure of where his allegiance lay. He was forced to divulge everything after being spotted with Luffy in the neighborhood tavern. Kobe talks about Alvida and how Luffy saved him. He kept this a secret from others because he didn't want his dream of joining the Marines to be dashed. Garp accepts his story, particularly when Kobe claims he has no loyalty to Luffy and is free to pursue the pirate as long as Morgan is looked after. Returning to Buggy and our group, we watch as the tank fills up again, but not before Nami and Zoro escape their cages, take down the clown thugs, and make their way into the main circus area. After Luffy removes his tank, Buggy displays his abilities to them by maneuvering his many limbs to eliminate them. Together with Nami, Luffy stops Buggy by trapping each of his limbs inside separate containers. His hands, feet, and head are all that remain. After taking out Buggy with his Gum Gum Bazooka, Luffy gives Nami the map that he had before spat out. In addition, Luffy releases all of the townspeople from their bonds, emphasizing that he is not the same kind of pirate that they are accustomed to. Our group bids the locals farewell and sets sail once more for the Grand Line on the open seas. As the episode comes to an end, Nami sneaks off into the back and inserts an odd conch into her ear. She reveals that she has the map in a conversation with an unidentified person. The episode analysis. One Piece's second episode introduces further lore by explaining that there are various varieties of devil fruit in addition to showcasing Buggy the Clown and his circus. Even though the pirate is eliminated in the end, it's obvious that this isn't the last time we see him, especially if the manga anime is any indication. While the show does a pretty good job of maintaining the atmosphere and vibe of the original, it's a great touch to switch over and see more of Kobe and his contradictory sentiments about the Marines. The interpersonal interactions between the crew feel somewhat forced, and there hasn't been enough time to fully investigate the dynamic between Nami, Zoro, and Luffy because of the short runtime and amount of content packed into each episode. If you're hungry for more juicy content, check out our playlist for other fantastic series breakdowns and movie analyses. And as always, may the force be with you, fellow geeks. See you in the next one.